I'll be honest, this is like the 5th time I've recorded this video. Each time I'm not happy with the outcome because my opinions have been changing so much for this video and it's been taking a while to edit, so it's kind of confusing. But anyway, yeah, this is my Destiny 2 review, and now I'm not really going to go in depth because I think everyone who's watching this video has either played it or has a good idea of what it is. So, yeah, I don't really need an introduction to the game. It's obviously the sequel to Destiny, but it's been out for about 3 months now. And how do I think it's doing now? Because I could have reviewed it 2 months ago easily and just said it's a perfect game, said it has no flaws, said it's the most fun thing on the planet. But Destiny has had a while with keeping their releases relevant. And I say that because they haven't exactly been the most relevant in a while. But yeah, I think the most relevant DLC that stayed like in people's minds for a long time was definitely The Taken King. And it lasted for probably about 6-7 months. This full-price game, Destiny 2, has only lasted about 2 months from release, whereas The Taken King lasted 7 months with some updates. But this has had some updates too. So there's so much wrong with that should never be it should never be the case where, but how do I put this? It should never be the case where a full-priced game is outshined by a DLC from a previous game in the franchise. But it is. I think The Taken King is still the best Destiny thing we've ever had. As for this, the story is decent. The campaign is pretty good, actually. I'm not going to be complaining about that. So, what's so bad, you ask? Well, for one, the characters are pretty boring. There's only a select few that actually stand out, and they are obviously the 3 Vanguard and Failsafe, and the main villain, Ghaul, is just stupid. Oryx is a way better villain, and he's a way better presence. I mean, Oryx wasn't the greatest villain, but he was a huge presence, and you feared him. Ghaul is some fat space pig that looks retarded, and he doesn't look like a big threat at all, to be honest. Ugh. I mean, you obviously fear the Cabal Empire, but once you take the city back, there's nothing to fear at all, because the raid, you go out of your way to go after somebody who's been in exile because he invites you onto the ship. And the raid is trash, by the way. It's easily the worst raid we've ever had. And people are saying it's better than Crota. Shut up! No, it's not. You dumb fucking idiots. It's not better than Crota. Let's be honest here. I don't think anyone played this raid more than once who's a casual player. And I didn't even complete the damn thing because I didn't want to. Because I'm not going... I just thought, hey, I'm already a pretty high light, and this is probably just going to give me something that's lower. Also, the whole systems built around the raid are just stupid. The actual encounters are... they're a good mix of either way too easy or physically impossible. So, this game it doesn't know what it wants to be. Yeah, so my rating I'll give at the end of the video. But, yeah, so the endgame progression system. So the progression system is awful. They replaced light level with power level, which is the exact same thing. The max normal level, like at the beginning, normal level matters. But then once you hit 20, there's no point. So the max power level is 305, which here I'm gonna go into something in a second. But when you acquire weapons and armor, all the upgrades are filled out, so there's really no point for anything. There's no point for getting good rolls because they're all predetermined and they're already all filled out. So you can't. There's no customization in this game. You're chasing after a number, and even infusion systems are broken now. So it's not the infusion system. You can't infuse like special weapons and special weapons, heavy weapons and heavy weapons, and primary weapons and primary weapons. For one, they changed the primary slot to the kinetic slot, which is just all kinetic weapons. Then they have an energy slot. Then they have a power weapon slot, which I think is absolutely retarded. And I think whoever came up with that idea, like, what are you thinking? How is that going to help at all? What does that matter? You should be worrying about the story, not messing up the guns. And the foundries in this game, I guess gun diversity is prevalent throughout the last 8 hours you'll play the game. But yeah, some legendaries are pretty cool, I guess, but you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore. No one cares, honestly. So, as I said, you now have to infuse certain weapon types, weapon archetypes, into each other. So a hand cannon can only be infused into a hand cannon. A pulse rifle can only be infused into a pulse rifle. It can carry over, so an energy pulse rifle could be infused into a kinetic pulse rifle. So that's the only thing that I somewhat like. But then it's just the exotics in this game are also awful. You want to get exotics really bad, but once you get an exotic engram, it's almost like a 50% chance or something that it's a repeat, even though you don't even have over half of the exotics, which I just think it's so stupid. I feel like more people have gotten duplicates than actual new pieces of gear, which is a flawed system if you ask me. So, yeah, where do I go next? Honestly, this game hasn't lasted. I think everyone has either gone to one of three contenders, or yeah, one of three rivals in the industry, or four now actually. So there's obviously Call of Duty World War II, which isn't great, but it's been better than Destiny 2. So there's also Fortnite, which is an amazing game, and I think I've changed my opinion of it. I think it's now a 8 out of 10. I think I said a 7 out of 10 in the video. So then there's Rainbow Six Siege, which I might review sometime soon. Because yeah, why not? And it's a great game. Rainbow is, I'm not going to give my rating on it, obviously, because I need to do a review, but it's the best out of all of these, in my opinion. Then there's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is only on PC, but it still is, like, a rival for Destiny. And then there's obviously Overwatch, which has always been like played more than Destiny and has been kicking its ass recently. I have stopped playing Overwatch recently, but I just said recently like 5 times. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like I don't even know. This game doesn't even have any good memes. There was the one meme where Zavala smashes the table, but come on, like you can do better than that. And I guess Cade was a meme or something. To be honest, I don't think Cade on his own can carry the game like everyone else says. He could carry the Taken King because he was like the only character in the Taken King that like really spoke. Besides Eris Morn, who is another great character. Because she's fleshed out, even though she's a bit generic, she still is a fleshed out character. So, yeah, what do I think of this game? What is the rating? The rating for me is going to be a 7 out of 10. I actually hate to say that because I had really high expectations for this game. Because it's supposed to be like this game that's gonna be descended from heaven and like it's gonna give you raging boners whenever you play it. But yeah, no, there's no boners. It's not a great. I mean, the overall beginning experience is meant for casual players, and you can tell. But yeah, like I'm kind of a hardcore player, but I don't have to do all of the content, and I don't have to get to max lane, because I just quit midway through, because it was getting repetitive, and I felt like I was doing the same thing every week, and I was one of the first people of my friends to realize that, so, yeah, it was pretty boring. Thanks, Destiny, or Bungie, or whoever's making you. Okay, yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Wait. I'll also say some things. I've been gone for a while. I plan to come back officially pretty soon. It will be probably another week or two, but yeah, I should be officially back at it soon. There's been a lot of things going on. I might make a video talking about it, but it hasn't been my desire not to make content, so, like, just know that. So, yeah, bye.